Once upon a time, there was a young man named John who lived in a small village at the foot of a mountain. John was known throughout the village for his laziness. He would spend his days lying in the shade of a tree, napping and daydreaming, while the other villagers toiled away in the fields and workshops. One day, a wise old monk came to the village. He was looking for someone who was willing to undertake a difficult task. He found John and said, "I have a task for you. I want you to climb to the top of that mountain and bring back a single feather from the highest peak." John looked up at the mountain and scoffed. "That's impossible," he said. "I'm far too lazy to climb all the way up there." The monk smiled and said, But you see, the feather I seek is not on the mountain itself. It is on the other side of the mountain, in a cave that can only be reached by climbing to the top and descending the other side." John's eyes widened in curiosity. He had never heard of this feather, and the thought of such a unique task sparked his interest. "Why would a feather be on the other side of the mountain?" he asked. "That is a mystery," said the monk. "But I believe that it is a feather from a very special bird, a bird that is said to be able to fly higher than any other bird in the world." John's curiosity was piqued. He had always been fascinated by birds, and the thought of finding a feather from such a special bird was irresistible. "I'll do it," he said. "I'll climb the mountain and find the feather." The monk smiled. "I knew you would," he said. "But be warned, the journey will not be easy. The mountain is steep and dangerous, and the cave is well hidden. But if you are brave and determined, you will succeed." John set off on his journey, and the monk watched him go. He knew that the young man was facing a difficult challenge, but he also knew that the young man had the strength and determination to succeed. The young man climbed the mountain for many days. The journey was long and arduous, and he often felt like giving up. But he kept going, driven by his curiosity and his desire to find the feather. Finally, after many days, John reached the top of the mountain. He looked out at the breathtaking view before him and felt a sense of accomplishment that he had never experienced before. He had overcome his laziness and faced his fears, but the real challenge lay ahead. The young man had to descend the other side of the mountain and find the cave where the feather was said to be located. The descent was even more treacherous than the climb, and the young man stumbled and fell many times. But he persevered, driven by the promise of the feather that lay ahead. And when he finally reached the cave, he saw the feather lying there, gleaming in the light that filtered in from the entrance. He picked up the feather and marveled at its beauty. But then he realized that he had a problem. How was he going to get back up the mountain and return the feather to the monk? For a moment, the young man considered giving up. But then he remembered the sense of accomplishment and pride that he had felt when he had reached the summit. He knew that he had the strength and determination to do it again. And so he climbed back up the mountain, his muscles aching and his lungs burning. But he did not give up. He pushed himself to keep going, driven by the knowledge that he had overcome his own laziness and accomplished something truly remarkable. When he finally reached the monk and presented him with the feather, the monk smiled and said, "Well done, my son. You have learned an important lesson today. Laziness is not something to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge to be overcome, a hurdle to be leaped over." The young man nodded, understanding the wisdom of the monk's words. He realized that he had always been capable of great things, but that his laziness had held him back. Now he knew that he had the strength and determination to overcome any obstacle that lay in his path. This story teaches us that laziness is not something to be accepted or tolerated. It is a challenge that must be overcome, a hurdle that must be leaped over. If we are struggling with laziness, we can remember the story of the young man and the monk. And we can know that we are capable of great things if we are willing to work hard and overcome our challenges. Thanks for watching this video from Go Deeper Insights. I hope you enjoyed the story and found it motivating. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more motivational stories and videos. See you next time.